With the big offseason the Las Vegas Raiders just had, they have a lot of new talented players that are getting their initial looks at in OTAs. At the same time, they're trying to interfuse and incorporate them into the group of returning players. That's why it's pretty hard to find things to get encouraged or discouraged about. After all, we talking about practice, man. I love Allen Iverson. Plus, they're not even in pads. We gotta wait a couple of months for that. Football is a collision sport, and with no collisions, it's pretty hard to see where a player or team is. You know what though? Depending on what position it is, there are a few little things that can be spotted that are encouraging. And of course, they were reported out of OTAs this past week too. Let's first talk about edge rusher Malcolm Coons. This is huge. He's out on the field now. Of course, as an edge rusher, what he does requires collisions and pads, so there's nothing he can really do to show off. However, the fact that he's out there is huge because of his injury. Coons tore his ACL right before the season started last year, while he was one of the guys the Raiders and their fans were most looking forward to seeing. He became that because of the way he played the second half of the 2023 season, when then interim head coach Antonio Pierce gave him the opportunity to start. That move was most responsible for the Raider defense being number one over the second half of 2023. He made opposing offenses pay for all the double teams they sent fellow edge rusher Max Crosby and interior defense lineman Adam Butler's way. He racked up 8 sacks the second half of the season and came through in all his big games against division rivals. He beat Los Angeles Chargers star left tackle Rashawn Slater for 2 sacks. He had 2 sacks versus Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes and 1 versus the Denver Broncos. It's good to see him back. In the third round of the 2025 NFL Draft, the Raiders took corner Darien Porter. Porter's height, weight, length, speed, and athleticism were way too much for Carroll to let pass. Don't believe the hype on his height though. He's not 6'4", he's a shade under 6'3", 195 pounds, runs a 4.3 40, and has 33 1/8 inch long arms. With that length, he's made to be a press man corner. This guy has sick upside. I hope he realizes it so he works hard and brings it into fruition. Porter was moved from receiver to corner and only started 1 year, and in that 1 year, he didn't give up a touchdown. I would have liked to have seen him in press man more as he was in zone most of the time though. He didn't touch receivers when he was up close in man either. He mirrored opposing receivers. Therefore, it's going to be a work in progress for him early on. Porter was mainly a zone corner in college, but the early reports on him are that he's taken the man coverage very well. His recovery speed, of course, is a surprise to no one, but it's duly noted. This is encouraging because you can see a player's coverage skills without him being fully suited up. Now for the offense. The guy we're most looking forward to seeing is, of course, the number 6 overall pick, running back Ashton Genty. Running back is a position that you usually don't judge too much without pads, but when you have every skill there is for a running back to have, you're going to show something when you have pads or not. Genty's first impression on his teammates actually starts with their first glance at him. 2024 first round pick Brock Bowers described him as rocked up. He also talked about the speed and quickness he has. If you're going to pick a running back in the first round, you want him to have speed and quickness, right? Running backs that give you 3 yards in a cloud of dust don't usually get picked in the first round. No worries for the Raiders though, because they see now that Genty is as advertised as far as all his speed and quickness goes. The coaches are impressed with the versatility he's been showing too. It's one thing to catch passes out of the backfield on screens and checkdowns, but that's not it with Genty. He's catching passes down the field. There's a lot you could do in the passing game with a guy like that in the backfield. In the second round of the 2025 NFL Draft, the Raiders took receiver Jack Besh. This Besh kid is going to be some kind of leader on this offense. He's an absolute dog that wears it all on his sleeve. He reminds me of a young Michael Irvin when he was with the Miami Hurricanes and Dallas Cowboys. He has that unparalleled passion for the game. Besh also reminds me of Irvin in the way that he gets open. He has good route running skills, but he's also skilled in using his hands to get separation. It's more than a bang 8 with Besh. It's bang 1, bang 2, bang 3, all the way up to 9 with Besh. Of course, he's put that on display since the Raiders got him in OTAs. That in his sure hands. He's physical blocking in the run game too. He can't show too much of that right now with no pads on though. I'm wondering what kind of role he'll have though. He does the same things Jacoby Myers does, and Myers didn't drop a pass last year. Then there's the real number 1 receiver and tight end Brock Bowers. Besh will be ready when the Raiders need him though. I was surprised to see receiver Dante Thornton still there when the Raiders were up to pick in the 4th round. I've always looked at him as a 2nd or 3rd round pick. When he ran a 4.30 40 at 6'5", 205 pounds, I wondered if he could somehow sneak into the end of the 1st round. 40 times tend to get players drafted in places they wouldn't normally get drafted in all too often. But if you look at his game at Oregon and at Tennessee in college, it's hard to see why he would still be there in the 4th round. So I believe the Raiders got a steal here. Word on the Raider Nation streets is he's been flashing in OTAs with, you guessed it, his big playability and speed. Myers likes a little more than that about him though. He said, I like him a lot actually. I didn't know much about him coming out, but now that he's here, just seeing the different parts of his game, like he's not just a guy that can run fast. He has some real receiver capabilities. I'm excited to help him grow and push him along and just see what he can do on the field when the pads come on. He'll get his shot at some point this year. When the Raiders drafted slot receiver Tommy Malot with the 2nd of their 6th round picks, I didn't know who the hell he was. I watched all of the highlights when they made the pick, just like everyone else. Those of you that already knew about him, good for you. Those highlights are at quarterback, the position he's been moved from. But you can see in his highlights that he has some shakes and some speed, so he'll be able to run after the catch. He posted a 4.39 40 and a 41-inch vertical leap at his pro day. He's 5'11", 200 pounds, so his size is perfect for the slot too. Athleticism-wise, the kid is unlimited. He just has to get route running and catching the ball down, as he didn't do that in college. He was the one throwing the ball in college. And in OTAs, the transition he's making is turning heads. He had a play where he made his man fall down, he ran his route so filthy. Catching the ball hasn't been a problem either. Again, you can tell what a receiver or corner has when they're in the helmet and shorts, so this looks promising. This is someone we definitely need to keep an eye on. I know plenty of you are obsessed with Smith now because he's the quarterback, and he's doing just fine. He's getting his timing down with Bowers and Myers in the short to intermediate area, and Thornton and Trey Tucker deep. Oh, another note, 3rd round guard Caleb Rogers has been taking reps with the ones behind Alex Kappa at right guard. Spytech loves Kappa, but he has a competition on his hands with Rogers. That's another rookie that looks like he can possibly contribute right away, along with Besh, Porter, and Thornton. And of course we're expecting big things from Genty. Then they have Coons taking steps toward his return this fall. Next is minicamp. Thank you for watching. See you next time.